do it.
Today, guys, on Open House, you know I'm your host, Damon Johnson of DJ Realty Solutions. We have the one, the only Elizabeth Novello. I'm going to ask what the V is for later.
Yes.
um, Liz is a wife, a mom, a realtor. We know that whose sister it is. We're not going to even. If you know me, you know. If you know me, and my followers know me, so we know we're not even going to dip into that because we're both two agents and both two past school teachers. So this is going to
Yes.
be great. I'm super excited to have you on. We'll just do a little chatting. I have questions. She has
Sure.
answers. So we're going to get right into it. For those my followers who don't know you or don't know your story, give us a little bit of how you got to real estate and your teaching history and all that good stuff.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. This is so fun today. I am a mom first.
Woohoo!
I was a school teacher prior to having my children. I taught first grade for many years and absolutely loved it. And it's interesting because I do share that selling real estate and helping buyers find homes, I get to teach them
Yes.
and educate them. And I feel like being a teacher has really set me up for a lot of success because I know how to manage, multiple. At one point, I had 20 little 6 year olds in my class. So you have to be really regimented and scheduled, but also have the ability to be flexible when things change. And so I think that played a big role into it. And also, I was a stay at home mom for over 7 years. And when you're a stay at home
You're
mom,
everything.
you're everything. You're everything. And so that also played a big role in how I manage my time and just I think being a teacher, being a mother, I tend to nurture and I like to do help guide my clients as best as I can, and I treat everybody like they're my family. So that's a little bit about me. I started real estate almost 3 years ago, after saying that I was going to go into it for many, many years. And I was about to take a flight with my brother, Gary. He was taking me to Germany for one of his speeches. And um, I knew if I got on that plane and I told him I'm gonna, he would punch me in my face.
Right. Just do it.
So I very nervously signed up for real estate school and came with the receipt to show him. And on that flight, I actually got to read his book, Crushing It. He had to proofread it. So um, we spent the next few hours kind of reading that book. My neck was so sore from reading all these success stories of people actually doing the things he talked about in his first book, previous book, not first book, but previous book of Crush It. And I thought, oh my goodness, all these people doing what my brother's telling them to do. And I'm sitting here and not listening to my own brother.
Right.
What?
Like what in the
And so
world?
that was really eye-opening. So fast forward, this is the start of my third year, and I've been super excited.
Cool. Now I know that on your page, you do a lot of business building with local businesses, and I think I love it. How do you go about picking who you're gonna have on, who you're gonna spotlight? Are these just people that like, hey, that bakery I know you love because they do your. I'm a stalker too. I'm like an investigative
Good,
reporter. I like to do
good,
my homework beforehand.
yes,
So all this month I've
good.
been
Looking me
looking,
up.
looking, 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 looking. So do you
Awesome.
just these are the people, the business that you frequent a lot, or you like this business needs a little help, or
So yeah, sure. So something that's interesting, my brothers share this. For those of you that don't know, my brother's Gary Vaynerchuk. And so something that he shared with the real estate world, a lot of businesses prior to me even getting into the field, was that he talked about becoming the digital
mayor of
mayor
their
of your town.
town?
And that really kind of popped off for a lot of people now that I've been in the industry watching people. A lot of them attribute their success to becoming the digital mayor and thanks to my brother. And so he had shared after going to Agent 2021, literally, was in the business maybe 72 hours. I went to his conference and I realized that that's the kind of approach that I need to take. So a lot of that influence has been through him. Of course, my own family, running a family business, the wine library, things like that. I really value these businesses that are out there and understand the value that I could bring with my audience. And so I want to give them a piece of myself and a piece of community to my viewers. Who are thinking about moving to Basking Ridge or local areas near me. So I like to highlight a few things. I am, like we just talked about yesterday a little bit, I'm not scripted. I am not a person that,
Yeah.
I I'm very off the cuff. So it's always generally based on my mood and what I thought I saw that was interesting that people would be appealing to people, but also it's the businesses that I love and frequent often. So the bar method in Bernardsville is the only workout I've ever enjoyed and loved. And so I love to spotlight them. Bakeries, I mean, we just talked about this.
Yes.
I'm going to be making cupcakes with my kids after this. So I love some baked goods. So bakeries tend to be a big thing for me. Um, and my daughter has been dairy free for a year. So spotlighting a local dairy free
Oh,
bakery in
cool.
Gillette, New Jersey, which is a neighboring town, was a definite for me because of that. And also highlighting these little shops that may not have such a social media presence that I can bring some
Attention to,
some
yeah.
value to. And that, I try to shop local, and if I do, I get to meet these owners, and I'm happy to share, my time and also the energy of, showcasing their stores.
Cool. Now I know that you're in Basking Ridge, so tell me a little bit about that. I've done my. This is just for everybody else because they know that
Yes.
I'm a stalker. When I first looked at Basking Ridge, I was like, oh, it's a sleepy little town, and I always think of it like sort of like a burb, and then you have the city, which is like an hour away. I'm guessing, kind of.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah. So are you more Basking Ridge Central, or can somebody call you and say, "Hey, I need you to buy this co-op for me in New York"?
By the way, I'm licensed in both New York and New Jersey, but predominantly I've been doing all residential stuff in New Jersey.
Okay.
And with having the network that I do, and a couple of weeks ago, you probably saw my post, I'm really trying to connect with other agents that I trust, and that I could refer my clients to, or people within my own network. But I love Basking Ridge. We've been here for almost 14
Oh
years.
wow.
Why do I love it? I love Basking Ridge because it's almost a country suburban feel, but you still have the ability to go into the city. My husband commutes to the city every day, by train. So we have the train line, and I just love the community. And, our family has been here, and my children are 10 and 6. And so they've been involved in the community through sports, and we've made some amazing friends. But it is, kind of, I love the city, but I always am appreciative to kind of come
To
home
come
and
out, yeah.
pick up my feet. But truth be told, my office is actually about 23 minutes. And when you're in New Jersey, 23 minutes is nothing. So 23 minutes away on Milburn Avenue,
Okay.
which is diagonal from my dad's store, the wine library. So,
Oh, two birds, one stone.
so I said, Dad, I'm back on Milburn Ave. So anyway, I do a lot of areas near our store, and where my company, Prominent Properties Sotheby's, is. And so Maplewood and Springfield and Milburn Short Hills are a hot little pocket of New Jersey.
Okay. So when you are typical day for you, you start because my day I'll start. I don't have any kids, so
Right.
I have to really go and like I have my own like internal alarm clock, but I know at 8 I should be going office, coffee, emails. Like everybody has their own schedule. Is your
Sure.
schedule different because of the mom?
Mhm.
Because not say of the mom thing, but is it like get out the
Of course.
car now? I got to go turn on office mode or
Well, for me, it's great. My kids have been early risers since birth. My son, who's 10, has literally woken up between 5:30 and 6 a.m. since birth. And so
oh.
he is my alarm clock. So it's essentially the same, routine every day, that I am getting myself ready and them they are getting themselves ready, and also I'm helping my younger one, grab her snack, things like that, making lunches. And so I drop them off by 8:15, and
Okay.
from there I hit the office. So, you know, my morning just starts a little bit earlier than some agents, but generally speaking, I'm getting into the office because something um, that I do is really manage my time in this 5 6 hour window, because my kids are in school and most days I'm picking them up. So um, it just makes me more efficient in those hours. I'm just, head down, really super focused, super, hyper focused on what I need to accomplish with emails, with calls, because I have that 23-minute window between my house and my kids go to school literally a block away. So from that point on, I jump on the phone
Yep.
as early as 8:20 and make my calls and check in with my clients and see how they're feeling, how they're doing, what's the game plan next for the week and with them. And then when I'm at the office, it's really maximizing the most amount of time. On the weekends, I tend to work a lot during the weekends because my husband is home and I'm showing houses. I could work a 12-hour day very easily, doing open houses, showings, or individual showings, and sometimes just open houses. But I tend to do a lot of follow ups immediately. So I maximize the time on there right after the open house so that
Right.
I'm still very focused on my business, because when I get home, I want to have some family time.
Yeah, because I know for me, and one of the other podcasters I asked you about
Yep.
buyers and sellers, and I really respect that answer because I love a first time buyer or a buyer, but then to
Sure.
ask myself, how long have I been with you? And do you just want to go get
Yes.
coffee, or are you really going to buy
Yes.
this house? It's like,
Yes.
I think it's a teacher thing of we're like scaffolding and building them up. And I have to
Yep.
remind myself, Damon, you need a check. So are they going to buy this house or not? So
Yeah.
for me, it's been, but the buyers like me. I don't know why. The
Well, you have a great
Oh,
personality.
thank you.
Of
You too.
course,
The
they like
buyers are like, oh, I could go to my house. And I'm like, how long is this going to take?
you.
So, what I've been doing this year, I don't know if you started, I've been putting myself on like 3 to 5 houses per weekend per client. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
I used to do the 12 showings with one client on Saturday. I was like, oh, this is too much.
Well, I did that, at first, and I really now try to educate my clients that after 3 to 5 homes, that you eventually just kind of blend them all together and you
Yep.
forget which home you were in. So, I think it's best, listen, last month I had somebody fly in from Florida, and we had 24 hours to kind of
Oh yeah.
find
Then
them
it's just
48 hours actually to find them a home. So that day we saw, that
yeah. That's an
day
all
we saw
dayer.
24 homes, but they do blend together. So I use it as an opportunity to really educate my clients, 3 to 5 homes, and really, especially first time home buyers, pointing out the importance and really digging deep on what they truly want and kind of getting the vibe and sense of what their style is and how much they want to put into a property if they were renovating, or if they just want to have something that's been renovated. So my first year I was taking out clients that weren't even qualified. Now I'll
No.
never do that. That's a big no. But when you're in the business for the first year, you're just like,
Right.
please business,
Yeah.
please, and so something's to be said about that. Now I make sure all my clients are pre-qualified before I take the time, because my time is so valuable at this point that every minute, every hour really counts. But I too, I have this personality where I end up becoming friends with
Friends
my
with them.
clients,
Yes.
and so I'm having multiple conversations because we have now taken our relationship to the next level.
Right. And
So
it
um
happens like that second, third showing. You're like, oh, let's go for coffee. And I'm like,
yeah.
let's go home.
Right, right, right.
So funny. Now you mentioned your style. I don't know if you've run into this too, where when I first started, I had an opinion. This house is
Sure.
this house is
Yes.
ugly, or this is too
Yes.
mod. I like kind of a mix of like colonial. There's a lot of colonials and
Yes.
bungalows here. And what I was
Nice.
finding is I was adding my opinion to their
Sure.
purchase, whereas now
Sure.
I keep my mouth shut as long as it's safe. and you love
Yes.
it and it has what you need, I'm learning to keep my mouth zipped, my lip
Damon, I'm so
zipped.
glad you brought that up. It's definitely something that I haven't been asked, but it's definitely something that I'm learning. I actually think I got into real estate a lot because my parents love real estate and they love design and
Oh
they built
yeah.
a dream home and all these things. And so I'm super educated on uh, quality work. I'm educated on styles and decorating things. So I have learned to not it's not my home, it's not my dream home. But I will point out things that I think, at the end of the day, we're an inspection, like have our clients do an inspection is super
Right.
important. And um, having some great, really reliable and awesome inspectors, uh, we always rely on them to kind of point those things out. But I tend to now not put my 2 cents in because they're not looking for it. And just because I have a certain style does not mean that they have the same style.
Yep, I ran into that this past weekend. I did not like the house. I was like,
Right.
it was just not
But
my.
they loved it.
They loved it, and I was like, yeah. But in my heart, I was like, oh no, this is terrible. But they loved it, so I keep my lip zipped now because your style is kind of like mine. You kind of like a
Yes.
mix a little bit. You like
Yes,
a
I
little
do.
bit of odor,
Yes, I
clean
do. Darn.
lines, everything.
Yes.
And so when I go into like a more like a provincial style house. I'm like, oh no, this is no bueno. But they so I it,
It's like Damon, do you like chocolate or do you like vanilla?
chocolate.
Okay, so I prefer vanilla and but today's cupcakes are going to be a mix. And so
Yeah.
we got to take our opinion and again, it's more of the guiding. They're not hiring us as their decorator, right?
Yes.
So it's like take a step back.
Because I've made that mistake of, oh, if we paint this color. I'm like, Damon, no, this is not your house. They don't
This is
like
not
beige.
your house.
They
Exactly.
do not like beige. It's so funny.
There you
So
go.
that's what I'm learning this year because I
Yes.
think I'm a different agent now, and this will be for
Mhm.
you. I'm a different agent now than when I first started. When I first started, I was, the rentals, I was taking anything
Yes.
just to get the
Yes.
experience because I
Yes.
had a mortgage. When I left teaching, I went into mortgages and then I
Yep.
fell in love with real estate. So
Yep.
yeah, in the beginning, I didn't have the clientele I did now. I knew nothing about social media. I just was
Sure.
taking, what I could get. But I look back at my old stuff like, oh my God, you were awful. Like I look back on my
But
first stuff like, oh, terrible.
But isn't that what's so great is that to hear you say that you're changing and evolving. I mean, don't we all want to do that? Because you can't be the person like the first year I was a mom, a stay-at-home mom, I like cringe thinking about, it's true. Our son Max, on his first birthday, his t-shirt said, "My parents survived my first year." And that was so true. And now by the time I had a second baby 3.5 years later, I felt like a pro,
Yeah, doing it
and
with one hand.
right, exactly. And so that's kind of where I'm at in real estate too. Everything takes time and experience in anything in every outlet. It doesn't have to be real estate. It could be any type of business that you're in or life experience, right?
Yeah, because when I first got on social, I was like everybody else. Hey, how you doing? I've been seeing you since high school. Blah 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 blah
Yep.
blah. And when I was at the mortgage company and I got my real estate license, I was so proud. And I hired an assistant like I really knew what I was doing.
Right.
And that's when I was introduced to your brother. My assistant was like, "Watch this guy, Damon, because you're good, but you don't really know what you're doing. I didn't have a focus. I just thought
Got it.
sell, 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 sell. You buy this house. I don't care if I'm adding value to you. I didn't know what adding value was.
Sure.
And so when that happened, it just like snowballed. I canceled all my social media. I started over with all of my accounts. So now I try to be, give you some
Bring
Damon,
in the
give you some,
value.
yeah. I try to give them me with a little bit
Yep.
of education, a little bit of humor, a little bit of, practical stuff. And now it's so funny because people are like, you're always on. When they meet, like, oh, you're the same as you are. I was like, this is
Yep.
this is really
This
the
is
real.
me.
This is really me. I don't know how to turn it
Right.
off. But social has taken on, and I have to be cognizant of it when I'm out. I only
Sure.
have like one glass of wine now if I'm out.
There you
I
go. There
make
you go.
sure that I'm super nice to the wait staff and wherever I'm in, like, because people go, "Oh, you're DJ Realty." I go, "Do I
That's
sign your
amazing.
shirt or like
Right.
what do I do?" Because Michigan is smaller, so we're like
Yeah.
kind of all congregated together.
Sure.
So with your social, I know that you're heavy on Instagram. And have you
Yes.
thought about what other platforms do you like, or are you like
Well, I mean, as having Gary as your sibling, of course, he's pushing me on TikTok, which I am like so far out from that. I
you're
am
still
gonna
early?
work on it. Doing more on LinkedIn. I reserved my Facebook more as personal,
Hmm.
and I just enjoy my community so much more on Instagram. But I know that just diversifying my platforms are important. So I tweeted last week and, I
Oh,
need to get stronger on other platforms. There was always room for growth, but I've been enjoying really LinkedIn also lately. I just find the networking there is important and connecting with others. But my ultimate love right now is Instagram. I built this community for over 2 years. I'm posting daily every single day in stories with a post, answering DMs, answering comments. So kind of transferring that idea to the other social platforms. And again, we all have places where we can build on and become stronger. And it's the managing of your actual business and your
yes.
family time. But I could hear my brother saying, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. So definitely could be stronger on other platforms. And, that is the push and the goal for this year for me.
Because I think when I had a LinkedIn page and it was like, just a resume and
Yep.
whatever. And so when he was like, "No, get back on there," I went back on, and this funny thing, that's where my client was at. I was like,
Really. That's
"Oh, you're here with the 680, 700 plus credit score and the W 2." I
awesome.
was like, "You're really here. Let me
Yep.
judge this up a little bit and really like attack, but not attack, and just
Yep.
see what happens." And it's really been great for me. So I really have been
Yep.
trying to stay consistent with it.
And
So
this, every platform has its own vibe and own way of doing. Like I see a lot of people just posting the same stuff, but that's not what it's
no,
really
yep,
like. You can't put out the same content for each social platform. It's different and you got to learn, what each one can bring to you and what you can bring to others.
yeah. Now I want to go back in your history a little bit.
Sure.
I know that you were the queen of eBay and
Yes. Oh my
reselling.
God.
So
Yes.
are you thinking about? Did you take your?
Yes.
Did
Yes. Yes.
yes, yes, David, yes. I only ask because I started and then I
Oh,
stopped, and then I.
so eBay, go ahead.
So no, no,
So
you.
eBay really helped me. So when I stayed home, I started eBay. And that was my business and I did it to pay for my kids' preschool. And in fact, as we said we weren't going to mention it, but I have to mention it because you could see my headboard
Come on.
from my bedroom. Sorry, guys. But as we have now, been retreated to our home, my husband's working from home in the office. Our two children are off from school today in preparation of the coronavirus and just making sure our town and families are safe here. And so I kind of retreated to the bedroom. So I have to mention that. But something that I decided to do, with all this energy out there, and I too myself had to take a moment and kind of, reconfirm that, I am safe, our family is safe and things like that. But in the mass of this panic, I decided to think about what are some things that I could do because a lot of people are affected, their businesses are affected. I just had a listing come out yesterday. I have another one coming out Monday. But something that I decided to do is focus on the positive as my kids will be off from school till the 30th of this month. And so the next couple of weeks I brainstormed and thought this is a great opportunity. I was thinking of all the positive things and one of them was actually eBay.
Yep.
People are home, so get your crap out, upload the pictures and make some money that way. So that's something I turned to my husband and I said, we're going to eBay. We're going to like get down and figure this out. And it will be a way for me to stay productive
Yep.
and a way for me I'm thinking about educating my people on Instagram and all social platforms on how to sell on eBay maybe, and I'm going to teach my 10-year-old. It's time for him to learn the business, and it's a great opportunity for him to do, the 4 hours required of schoolwork that he'll do, but it'll give him the opportunity. So I'm trying to find all the positives, and eBay has always been a very positive thing for me. It taught me and really how to understand. We do comparative market analysis, CMAs for clients. eBay taught me how to do that, believe it or not,
Oh
because
wow.
when I post something, you always go to completed sales,
Yep.
and completed sales are sold in the real estate world. And so you're looking to see what's sold, and then you're actually coming up with a price analysis for your eBay item,
Yep. Just a
aka
little bit
also
under.
known, right, also known as a house evaluation kind of for your clients. And then from there, I decide on a strategy. Sometimes I want to lower the price a little bit to get more action. That's what we do when we want multiple offers on a home. So um, these are just some items that I've learned, some things that I've learned from eBay that really helped me in real estate, believe it or not.
Well, yeah, because I started with Beanie Babies, and then I
Oh,
went to I was a big comic book collector, still am, but it's
got
gotten
it.
crazy. Um, I went to Beanie Babies, comic books, mugs, toys.
Oh, mug life.
I didn't do the whole baseball card thing. I'm just
You got well,
I
that's also
know.
something I'm learning this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so so I'm thinking about it, and I looked, and because my stuff is really still sitting there, I'm like, damn
guess
it.
what? I really think this is the time to really undercut of some of those prices because people are going to be home for the next few weeks. And then just even using that as education on how we could do it with our own listings out there and how to market to buyers, and all of that has been running through my mind with just the and where we're at in the world right now today.
Yeah, just being home. They said Isaac Newton was on the self quarantine. He came up with
Yes.
the theory of gravity. I was like, oh, well, I'll be home for, and I just look at those bags and I'm like, not intimidated, but I'm like, how else is
Uh,
it going to get out of my house? You have to sell
that's
it.
right.
So
That's right.
yeah,
Do it, Damon. Can't
I'm
wait.
here for it. I'm gonna let you
Yes.
go in a little bit.
Yes.
She's like, yes, I like to.
Tell me.
I'm a
Tell me.
I'm a yapper, so I have to cut
So am
myself
I.
off.
Go ahead. Tell me.
So let's say, give me your ideal client, or do you not care about price point, or do you not care about style? Do you
Don't
give me your ideal
care.
client?
Ready?
Yeah.
I just sold a house that was a condo, one bedroom condo. Uh, that's priced at the 160s, and then I'm working with a client that's looking between 8 and 900,000, and I'm treating them the
The
same
same
exact
way.
way, same energy given. I don't care. I love working with anybody who even gives me the opportunity. I'm so grateful. I understand I have a little bit of a different experience, whereas that my life continues. I have the luxury that I got to stay home, things like that. But I have bills too, and I have kids
Mm-hmm.
to raise. But I'm not looking at my clients as dollar signs at all. And so it makes me a different type of agent. But I too also want to educate my people, and you
Yes.
could show people the same houses for months and months, months. I mean, last year I worked with a couple that just, you could take them to 900 homes. They weren't going to pull the trigger, but it took everything I had to really say, listen, I don't think you're ready,
Right, like,
and
let's go have
that,
coffee because you aren't ready.
but guess what, like that's where it's at, and to educate them and to say, when you're ready, I'm here. And so I think, it doesn't matter what kind of client I have. For me, it's all about just having the opportunity. I'm so grateful to each and every one
Yeah,
of my
because
clients.
I tell people every time my phone rings or you send me an email say, Damon, I'm gonna work with you, I'm like, oh, who me? I'm like,
I'm
oh,
so
I'm like, it's
yeah,
like a new opportunity, a new you picked me, so I always feel
yes,
special. Like you picking me. When you said
yes,
yes, I was like,
yes.
I said, she
That's
said,
so awesome.
I said,
I love that.
I go, she said
Of
yes.
course, I would say yes.
My office was like, she's not gonna do it. I go, she said yes, she's gonna do it. I was so
I love it.
I'm
Of
still, but
course I
today I
do.
wasn't nervous.
You got it.
I'm
You
so
know,
excited.
You asked me if I got nervous in my first transaction. Believe it or not, I get nervous every time I'm about to submit a contract because I just really want to do my best for my clients. I want my clients to be happy and to be satisfied. So I still kind of get like
A little, yeah.
a little nervous when I'm about to submit an offer for my clients.
I'm
So
only I'm only nervous at the appraisal. Other than
well, there you go.
that,
Well, for me too, it's not nervous to actually submit the offer. It's like I just hope this works
it
out for
works for
them.
them,
You
yeah,
know.
because they're always all in, and I'm usually all in, and here we go, and you email it, and then I call it this business is hurry up and wait. You,
Right? That's so funny. That's such a good concept. I That's so true. It's like, "Oh my God, get it. Get the contract." And then you're
you
waiting.
wait till Monday morning, like, so is it a
Right.
yes
What's
or
the
no
deal?
or the counter offer or yeah. So yeah, I call it hurry up and wait and smile. Just
That's cute. I love that.
yeah.
I gotta tell you, something that's been very different and where I'm more confident is that how I deal with other agents.
Oh, that's a whole nother
That's
show.
a whole nother
Are
show.
they as rude here as they are there? I mean,
Well, I mean, the first time, my first year when I would call other agents to set up appointments, which was how they asked me to do it, there if I heard a rude response, I'd be like I'm a good person. I was just calling for your showing, for your house
for
that
your
you
house,
listed,
I'm bringing you
you
a
know?
buyer.
And it's so interesting. I am straight to the face. This is what it's at. Can we make a deal? Let's
Yeah.
be kind. Let's work together. Um, but Damon, you're right. That is for a whole nother show.
that that's episode. Cause I've had oh, well, you just like you oh yeah, I've
I
had
know, but
some
it's so
doozies.
sad. It's like, do we have to live like this, people? I mean, aren't we trying to accomplish the same thing?
Yeah, I've had closings in different rooms. Like we couldn't even all. Yeah, that's
Really,
that's
really.
that's episode 2. That's in what is this March?
That
That's where our June get together. We're like,
Let's do it.
let's
Let's do
do
it.
it.
For me, I've worked with buyers and sellers. I'm
Hmm.
listing 2 homes, but right from the get, like my last year, I was listing and working with buyers. I know that typically a lot of new agents are buyers agents. I've
Right.
been blessed that I've had the opportunity to work both, and both of them give me different feelings
Yes.
and stresses and joy and challenges, but I'm just taking everything I can, any chance I can.
Yeah. I take it and I have to fix my face. I can't
There
play
you go.
poker. I'll be like this.
Yeah, I'm the worst poker face. My
Yeah.
God,
I'll be
where's
like
my?
this isn't the
I'm the
house.
worst.
Like oh yes, I love it. See, I'm still working on
There you go.
it. Well, no, I thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I'll send you my eBay items. Like here, help buy
Yes,
like here, promote that, buy
yes.
that. I'm super excited. What are you selling?
I mean, my jam is 1980s vintage toys. I grew up in the 80s, and
Oh,
nothing makes me happier than
you don't look.
Hasbro.
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm a little. I'm old. I'm just not gonna say seasoned. I'm old.
I love those Hasbro kind of 1980s toys
I
are
had all the He-Man, and I opened
oh,
them. Oh no, I know where's my stuff.
where are the
Where
He-Mans?
because if you go now, sidetrack, because we'll be here forever.
Yes.
They're so expensive now. The original set,
Yes.
I had all of them because they came out every Sunday morning on USA Network.
Okay.
They played the
Yes.
commercial. My mom would be like, "You're not getting another one. He looks just like the last one. Here we
Right.
go." So I would take my little allowance. My allowance was $250 for the week,
That's
and I would
awesome.
go, "I got half of it," and she was like,
Okay. Well, you
"F."
were negotiating back then. I'm looking right now because I'm not kidding you. I'm going to show you literally what makes me happy is something on Pinterest. My very first Barbie, Peaches and Cream, and that was my
Oh,
first Barbie. So I'm into nostalgia, and so finding those vintage toys are definitely. But I sell everything from my bags, my handbags that are designer handbags that I
hmm
no longer use, and I decided I'm going to be a minimalist. I keep saying that. So even what I used to sell a lot of was my kids toys
okay.
and clothes, and um I would buy certain brands because I knew I could flip it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was worth for me to put in the purchase because I knew after my kids are done
Right.
wearing it that I'm gonna flip it on eBay.
So if you find Castle Grayskull for me, I'll come get it.
Oh,
I'll come to Basking
you
Ridge
gotta
and I'll
watch
get
on
it.
Netflix. On Netflix, there's like something
Yeah, the
1980s.
Toy Hunter.
Did you
Yeah.
watch it? Oh my
Yes.
God, the whole He-Man thing. I didn't
Oh, it's a
realize
thing.
it's a
It's
thing.
a
It's a
thing.
thing.
I should have kept my stuff, but it's okay.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Let's take a quick pick.
Okay.
Yeah, the Damon smile. Love it. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for coming on. Are you kidding me? In the midst of all this stuff and a Friday,
Yeah.
and it's Friday the 13th, which is fine for me. I like Friday the
By the
13th.
way, I was born on Friday the
Shut
13th. And by the way,
up!
I want to tell you, my mom was only in the country for 6 months and she's superstitious, like really hardcore superstitious.
Most
So
moms are.
if she knew Friday the 13th meant something not great, she would have held me in.
Yeah,
I'm
she'd
not
have waited
kidding.
like no.
She would have been like, and by the way, we all know it. My mom would have been like, sorry, child, you're staying in
You're
there.
staying in
That,
like
that
no
is it.
no labor
So,
today.
all right, Damon.
All
So
right.
good to see you. And we'll touch base soon.
Okay, thank you, Liz. I appreciate it. Have a
All
good
right.
rest of your day.
You as well. Take care.
Okay.
Stay healthy. Bye bye.
Bye bye.